And we're rolling. All right. I'm going to be, hello everyone. I'm going to be creating a composition, simple, using Affinity Photo, using my own personal uh, photography by me, local photos from the area that I live in. I'll be using this and already not too bad image of a couple of rocks, shoreline, waves, windy day, kind of stormy. I'm going to be using this photo, and I'll be using a raw image, ground photo of a rainy night downtown Miami, and this is on a 10 millimeter wide angle, I believe, if I remember right. No, it's not. No, scratch that. It's a wide angle, but it's not the 10 millimeter. So I actually forgot which one I used. But this is a raw file, NEF for Nikon. My photography, my images, and instead of going to the internet and looking for sceneries and castles and stuff like that, I want to do my own. I'm gonna try to blend that ocean, those waves, breaking waves. I'm gonna try to blend them into this water right here, and then I'll try to match up. And I did this before, of course. I did. I think everybody else that does these videos, they all do their practice runs. I'm not gonna lie. I've done about a million of these, so I'm still making mistakes. This is my end results from my composition. As you can see, rainwater here, and I brought the shoreline waves breaking. So this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do this again, and let's empty my garbage. All right, there you go. So let's get started, and I already have this up. Let's load file 1. I'm not going to name these or anything. I mean, I learned everything from James Ritson. James Ritson. I learned everything from him. Ever since I got Affinity Photo, I've been learning all I could. I improvise. I've seen many people out there putting up their own uh, Affinity Photo videos on how to do this. Well, one thing that I learned by all that is James Ritson is the person to go to if you want to learn how to do something. He also does Mac and Windows, and originally Affinity Photo is an Apple product until they brought it out for Windows. So I don't care about this. I'm gonna undo this in a little while. So let's work with this image first. Give it some life. I'm gonna get rid of this junk here. I'm gonna get rid of all this junk here. I'm gonna try to little differentiation there. I'm gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna go through this, do the composition, process the raw image, and we'll see what happens. So let's start off with, I'm gonna bring up some colors. All this is like really dead looking. It's it was a nice sunny day. I remember it, but a lot of haze. All this is haze. I remember it was very hazy, but this is better. Want to bring this beach up, all this sand, bring it up to color, bring it up to life, and you know, I'll do that. You know what? This thing is annoying right here. Let me differentiate that before I go anywhere. Differentiate, and I think I'm gonna do right here. I think that's the color. And there's my edge. There it is. See how I got rid of it? That little turquoise color hanging out, that rock, that falls under the fringe. So bring it up, bring the tolerance up to 100% edge brightness threshold. I brought it down 21%, so that worked. That's pretty good. I'll apply that. Before I do that, I'll do the before and after look. There it is right there. And like I said, everything that I do on Affinity, I have mostly learned from watching James Ritson, his videos. The tutorial videos from the actual Affinity website are great, awesome. And like I said, Affinity Photo is a very nice, neat program to work with. I'm going to apply that. And what happened? I guess I'm talking too much. Let's do that again. What happened? Let's go to fringe, turquoise, bring the tolerance up. No, there it is. Okay. There, 10%, 100%. That got rid of it. Let's apply it. Alright, there you go. Jesus, man. When you get to talking and talking and talking, you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Alright, that's fine. Okay. Let's give this image a little bit of snap. Really. Mostly focusing on this area right here. All this right here. I'm going to eliminate all this except for part of the water's edge. By the way, all this is haze. If you want to get rid of it, you go to filters, haze removal, and just for the kicks, we'll see what happens. And there you go. It removed the haze. Now you can repeat this process again without playing around with your strengths here. You're using your sliders. You can do this, apply, and if you feel you want to get a little bit more haze out of here, you repeat the process again. Filters, haze removal, and the software. There you go. The there you go. Got rid of more haze, but that's just showing you these little dust bunnies here in my sensor. They're showing up because I'm getting really deep into the sensor here, so I'm going to apply that anyway because I'm not going to use this. But that's your haze removal. It works pretty good. It works pretty good. So anyway, let's see what else we can do here. I want to get some. These are nice waves, by the way. I want to get not the best, not Pacific waves and stuff like that, but I want to get a little bit more sharpness out of this image. Yeah, there you go. I have mine set at 2.1, factor 0.5, threshold of 0. For most of my imagery, I try to keep that at one level pixel that I like, and that's 2.1 for me. It doesn't have to be on 2.1. Let's do clarity. One shot of clarity. Let's see what happens with clarity. Clarity is at 8%. Not sure that there's a big difference. I could see a slight difference. If you can't see a difference, you could bring it up 2%, 12. There you go. That's a difference right there. Alright, we'll go with that. Apply that. Alright. I get some detail out of this rock / rock coral here. It's actually all jagged rocks. Waves are breaking nice right there. Alright, so let's do this right here. I'm going to get rid of some of this junk here. And very simple, easy way to do it. Nothing complicated. You have your image chosen. You come over here, you do a in-painting brush tool, You do that. Let's get a nice size, bring it up, and that's basically how it works. I'm going to undo this, but that's basically how it works. I'm going to go over what I want, and I'm going to go over what I want to get rid of. And the way I do that, best way I found, is you go here, the hardness, you bring it up to around 94, 92, or maybe even just 90. Let's do 90. You don't have to go all the way to 100. This is sand, it's very forgiving. So let's do that. Leave the slider at 90, 92, and you go over it, hit this corner right here, and you let the magic work, brushes, and you get rid of it. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that altogether. Alright, now we're going to get rid of this palette, wood, junk, float, another piece of wood here. Let's zoom in. Very forgiving. Sand is very forgiving. You see? It's all gone. Let's bring down my tool a bit. Do that. Now let's do this. And let's get rid of this palette here. I suspect all this stuff was brought in from the storm that had just gone by, maybe a day or two before I got here to the beach, that is. Got these little things here in the sand, these little things, we'll get rid of them. Let's bring down the size for this wood here. That's good. And I'll run it. Oops. There you go, very forgiving. There you go. And then we'll do this here. That's gone. Clean up the beach, you know. One thing, I get out to the beach a lot because I live on the coast, and I see all this garbage and junk. I just don't think the city workers move fast enough to get rid of all this stuff. There you go. It's all cleaned up. It's looking pretty good so far. I like it. After all, what I'm blending in is this area right here into the other image. I'm going to get rid of all this here. So this is null. Alright, let's go back to my hand tool and see what else we can do to this image before we actually go working with the other one. So let me bring some color into this image right here. And for that, I'm going to go, the way I have my panel set here on layers, I can come over here and have access to everything I have here, but you can also go here, layer, new filter layer, new adjustment layer. I can go HSL. That'll bring me up HSL right here, and it will create a layer, same as if you do it from here. Oh, hit my microphone. I'm sorry. There you go. Back on track. Alright. Let's pop this up here. Let's give us some red. See what happens. Let's increase the red. Oh yeah, look at that. Let's increase the red. Alright, I'll do that. And let's bring down the yellow. Like I said, I did this before, so I pretty much know where to go, how to do. This is to my liking. You don't have to do this. And I'm going to take the blue out. And the way I find out in some images what effect am I actually getting out of the image by adding or taking away colors, I do like this, and this is where all my blue is. Just kick it up, man, you know, blue. All this is my blue. Very little blue here in the sand. And remember, I'm working with this area right here. So I want to get rid of the blue here. I don't care about this, so I bring my blue down. There you go. And the same thing with the green. You want to know where the green is? There's no green here. Right here. You know? Right there. So take the green out. We don't need it. And the yellow, I already took it out for the sand. Alright. Now, if you want to go back to choosing all colors and you've already knocked out everything that you didn't need, what you want to do is you want to do this, see what you got, and you want to bring it down. And I kind of like it at somewhere around 6 minus 5%. But if I bring it up plus 10%, look at all the red that I get in this dried up old seaweed here. And that's all seaweed brought in from the right there. So let's keep that. I like that. I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to try to pop this out a bit more right here, these rocks right here. So let's do another sharp unmask. And this came out pretty good. I'm getting a lot of sharpness out of these rocks, which I want. But I'll cancel that and see what I can get out of clarity. And clarity's at 12%. I'll go with the unsharp. You know, I'm not gonna do a high pass filter because, like I said, it's simple composition. I just want to get it done. So we'll do unsharp mask, and we'll take it to 2.9. That's good. I could have punched in 2.9. I'm so used to working with the mouse sometimes. I'm like, if I don't have a mouse, I can't do anything. See how it brought up the ground area? Look at this area right here. Before and after. Look at that. So I like that. Let's hold on to that. And then for the shade in here, I want to bring these rocks out. I want to bring the shade. I want to get that. I'm going to go to my let's do shadows. Let's do shadows. Let's look at this right here. Let's look at this right here. And do shadows. Bring it up just a bit without, there you go. That's there you go. And I kind of like that. We'll bring it back to what it was. There it is. Let's bring it slightly up. Let's go 28%. That's pretty good. Alright. Leave that like that. Okay, there we go. Now, I've got this looking pretty good. Let me try an S curve here with the red. So I'm working with the red in the curves window, and I'm going to try to bring down this red here in the sand, and I'll start here, and there you go. Slightly move it. See that? Slightly move it down. See how I get rid of some of that red whilst keeping the red here, that snap for this image. And that's just a small, but you can do this. Move the slider. You can move the slider any way you want to. It's your image. You can do whatever you want to. But I want to keep the red in that and take the slide little bit of red out there. Okay. I think that's a little bit more normal looking for sand. And let's keep that. And this is what we did. You go to your curves layer right here. And that's what you did. That's what I did. That's what we did. That's what happened. So I like that. I'm not even going to mess around with the blue yet. It is a little bit on the bluish green side, I think, but that's fine. Now let's go back over here. HSL. Let's go to my red and bring the red up a little bit more. And I just brought the red up a bit more on these old weeds here, which I like. I like it. I like it. It brings out the image. It pops the image up out. So I'm going to keep that, do that, and when I think I'm done with the image, this is going to get cropped out. This is going to be gone, and I'll work with this later on. But basically, that's your image right there. My image, our image. Okay, all right. So that's done. What I want to do is I'm going to flatten this document, because I'm not going to do anything else to it. Composition, simple, right? Okay, let's do this. Let's go work with our raw image now. So we're going to open File, Open, and we're going to choose Raw. So Affinity Raw Developer right here. Raw, Nikon. Oh, 2.8. This is my 2.8 16mm lens, which is actually a this is a 2.8 14mm 14mm lens, and I was using it. I brought it up to 16 1/4 shutter speed just to get this image. So now I remember the lens that I used for this image. Okay, that's fine. I laid the camera down on the ground on a piece of cardboard or wood or something, and I wanted to catch the drops. So here's what we're going to do with this image. First of all, I'm going to, by the way, in the raw persona, it's called raw persona, most of this orangey, kind of pinkish orange looking in the atmosphere right here is for multiple reasons. One, because of this is like about 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's look at the date on this. It was at 3:16 a.m. Okay, that's fine. 3:16 a.m. I was off by a few minutes, and it was a year ago. It's 2019. So there you go. Okay, so what this haze here is, it's all, believe it or not, glow from the pink lights on this building right here. Pink lights in this building right here. So the green is coming from this light here. This light has a greenish tint to it, street light. And the rest is actually a mixture of lighting filtering through rain water. It's constant drizzle, you can see right here. So let's bring this up, and this is a very forgiving image to use clarity while processing the raw image. You bring the slider all the way up 40, 50, and let's go 60. Let's go to 70. 60, that's 66 right there, give you an idea. That's 66 right there. Nice brush right here. Port of Miami, make a right. 95 to airport. So the image itself is pretty nice. The lens is pretty neat. It's a clear image. And this is it, you know. So I could bring this up to 74. That would be pretty good, I think. Now, what I'll do here is I'll play with this margin right here. Reset it. This margin right here is the amount in percentage according to the data in the image that the software Affinity recognizes to go and maintain a workable, acceptable looking image. In other words, there's nothing that you can do to these sliders right here to damage your image. It's to your liking, and it's according to how much data is in the image that you can work with. And that's according to Nikon, the information in the camera. So you can do all this if you want to. You can overexpose it, but you can't destroy it. Black point, yeah. So might be wrong about this black point, but you know, in my experience with using this program, yeah, you can't destroy an image to a point with these sliders. That's like, you know, let's reset right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the brightness, which is, it only allows me to come up 25%. And if I'm wrong about this, correct me. That's fine. I'm not perfect. Exposure, I'm going to leave it. The black point, I'm going to leave it. 74% on the clarity. I'm not going to do anything else here anymore. The white balance, I will play around with the white balance right here. Mostly a lot of green right here, which we're going to get rid of this, by the way. So let's go to the blue side and balance between the blue, green, and pop this red up a little bit. And let's increase the red a bit. See how I'm killing the green? It's right here. Going too much in that background over here. That's fine. And I'm not going to do anything with these shadows here until later. I am going to go to details, and I'm going to run details about 49%, halfway, and about 30%. And that's going to give me detail in these trees right here, the brushes. See this? Maybe a little bit too much detail. I'll bring it down. Maybe a little bit too much. Let's cut it back to, let's go even numbers, 40, and let's go 20. All right, let's go 20 and 40, and I think that's a little bit better. I get, you know, I'm going to knock down about 10% in noise, luminance, and color. 10%. That's about it, and that's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna get too crazy with this. Far away it looks good. If you creep into it, you're gonna start seeing a canvas-like surface, not smooth but acceptable. So there you go. I'm not gonna go much more with this image in the raw persona. Let's develop and go. We're out of our raw persona. Yep, there you go. We're in here now. Excuse me. So I'm gonna try to blend this. I did it before. Every time I do it, it comes out different. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna throw a shadow. I'm gonna throw some shadows in these trees right here. Let's start with the right here, a little bit See, a little bit right there, and I'll bring it up. It's 14%. This is 19%, so I get some, some bit of shadows here into the trees right here, palm leaves. Because this image is according to how I like it, how I see it. You could do it different. They're your images. You can do whatever you want to. I'm just doing it to my liking. So, we're going to blend this into that shoreline. And I'll keep this like that. I can always play around with it later. But I'll keep this like that. I tried to get rid of some of this disgusting red tint before. Tell you what, man, it's like I was up all night. I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to leave it like that because that's the actual. This is the actual sensor, the actual way that my camera settings picked up this image on that night, and there's nothing that I can do about it. Trying to change it is like a pain in my left toe. So I'm going to leave it like this. Anyway, now, if you want to, you can do this. You can flatten it. Okay, that's it, right? All right, so here's what you do. I'm not going to pretty much do anything here. Let's just do this. Go over here to your, I forgot the name of this tool, selection brush. Is that what it is? No. Here you go. All right. Wow. Anyway, let's do copy. Just like this. Just copy it. And we'll go here. And we're going to do a paste. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Let's do a paste in the move tool. We were in the hand tool. You can't paste in the hand tool, my mistake. Go to the move tool. And the move tool comes up and we go paste. And this is what happens. So we're here now. And this pretty much worked out because both images are the same size, everything, dimension. So it's one on top of the other one. This is my paste that's on top of the other. If you want to see what's going on here, just go over here to opacity in your layers window. Just go to opacity right here and bring it down, and you can see your image in the back. Bring it up, and like I said, I've learned all this from James Ritson. I improvise a lot of things that James Ritson does. He's really technical and detailed in what he does with his images. I'm not experienced as he is, but I get by. So again, you want to do this, you want to do this, that's where you're at, that's where you're at, that's where you're at, that's where you're at. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to blend some of this water right here into the shoreline, right here. And to get an idea, I'll leave it there. But you can move this up and down. There's your shoreline right there. So I can pretty much do this, eyeball it. Go back. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, and I have my snap tool on right here. So when you're working with the image, you know when you're dead center on the image. So let's do a mask right here. Let's do a mask. We got a mask. And let's go to the paint tool, paintbrush right here. Let me see if this works. There you go. Look at that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, on your mask, go up here to hardness, and I have it at 100%. That's why I run my brush tool over, and I can see the image in the rear. Now if you bring it down, let's say halfway, and you get the idea how this works, then you're halfway. It's not as intense. I'll show you. See the fuzz around the ring? So bring it up to 100, and look at that. The fuzz is gone. Alright. You want to leave this flow at 100, and you want to leave the opacity at 100. I mean, that's the way it works good. If you're actually James Ritson, you'll probably work with all those numbers, but this is what happens. That's how you do. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, before we all do this, and you have this packed down, and you understand how this is working, always make sure that you are on a simple brush here. Any one of these brushes. That would be your brush size. I believe I'm in brush number 64 right now, and that's where you want to be. And that's how you get this circle here. All right. So always make sure that you're in one of your more solid brushes here. So we're here. So let's start blending. All right. I'm actually nervous, but bring this in, bring this in, bring this in, and let's start eating up. There you go. That's what happens right there. Now you want to be on black. If you choose white, you go the opposite, and you bring back, you go black, and you always want to make sure you want to have black and white, black and white, black and white. Alright, so you do this. So this is the way I do it. This is the way I do it. And I want to work with and blend these waves into the image. So where's the waves? There's my waves. Alright. There's my waves. Okay. Alright. There's the waves. Okay, so I have to bring my image I believe somewhere right there. Yeah. Somewhere right there. There's my snapping tool working. Somewhere right here, see? Yep. Let me focus in. Alright, so here's my waves. Here's the street, which is wet. Here's the running water right here. It's on the street. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my mask, back to my paintbrush. And what I want to do is let's work on this right here. I like these waves right here. Let's bring down my brush size. And what I want to do is I want to go and bring back some of my okay, now here's where I'm just playing around with this. Alright, now here is where you play around with the hardness in your brush. At this point right here, where you're working and you're getting into these little details right here, right? So check this out. So let's let's undo this right here. And I'm trying to keep the waves at the level of the grass here. I'm looking for, there you go, this is what I'm looking for. There's a line right here. See? There's a line right here, which is the grass area where it meets the sidewalk. So that forms a line, a border, and that's what I'm looking for right there. So that's what I'm looking for right there, so I can have a reference point. So here's where you go and you do this, and you bring it down to about 19%. You get the idea. And you do this. And then you see, you blend it in. You blend that in. And you want to blend this right here. See, the lamppost is right there. There's some nice waves right there. Breaking waves right there. Now here's the thing right here. For this image, look at those nice waves, right? So for this image, I would say for this image, there you go. You see, there's waves here, but I have water here in the street. Let me get rid of this. So I'm gonna see how this looks. I know this looks like shit, but just give me a second here. Alright, so this is the actual water in the street from the rainfall. So I can keep that look right there, or let me go to the edge of the rocks, which those are very important, by the way. Right there. And I can do like this and cover up that little bit of flooding there. And I'll pull away from it. There you go. So this is what you got. Let's bring up the size of the brush tool. Same opacity right here. It's hardness 19%. You know, I mean, I put it on 19. I'm going to leave it at 19. It could be 22. It could be 21. But you want to keep the same hardness so everything stays the same. So let's do this. Let's come back over here and cut out. There you go. Get those waves right there. And bring in the, now this is why you want to, over here I would bring it down to like, seriously, like 8%. And come over here and like right here, I would pretty much right there. Alright, just to make sure, but this is to my liking. It may not be to your liking, it's to my liking. But it's looking good now, you see? So I got the, let me check something here. This area here is like a pain in the ass, but I'll tell you what. I'll get it done. You see? Let's bring this down a bit. And okay, I think that's looking better. Yeah, all right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's make sure we get the edges. Now here's what we do. Before I go any further, let's take a look at what we have. You know, I use these sliders here because sometimes I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing and I actually try to move it and I don't switch over and I make mistakes on the image. So I just simply I leave the last tool, I leave it in play, and I use the sliders to move around. And to zoom in, I have my mouse set up just to zoom in. So you can do that. So anyway, let's see what we have. Let's look at a far away. Pretty good. It's blended in pretty good. So what you want to do is you want to bring up the hardness now. Pretty much like 90, 93, whatever. That'll work. And you bring your brush tool like so. And you go right here. And you run it over just to make sure that you got everything. And there's nothing left. Everything. Right? So that's just to cover. I would say cover my ass, but there's no covering my ass on this. This is my work. This is my image, so I don't need to cover my ass for anything. But if we're learning, we're learning. So you make sure everything's blended good, solid, right? Let me go to my hand tool and move around. And this is what I got. I'm going to get rid of that little haze right there. See? These are the little things that you look for. That you look for. And I think I was at around 8%. Yeah, when I did this before. Alright. See what happens? You just tap the little mouse button. And you bring out the background just in that area right there. And you still maintain the waves. Alright. Oops, why did I do that? Undo. There you go. Whew. Alright, mistakes. Alright. So, we're looking pretty good. The waves are breaking out of the street. The street is wet. Wow, look at that. Let's get rid of that. See, this is why I go over. And let's create a. There you go. There you go. These are waves. There's a reflection here from these lights, and the shoreline is coming out here. So let's do this. It's at 8%. Let me see how this would look. All right, give it a depth of field look, right? Okay, I think that's better. I like that. I like that. I mean, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave that like that. I like that because I got these. I don't know what you call these. You know, they're like foam waves, foam. And let's make sure hardness 100. And let's run it over the edge of the rocks and make sure that we're looking good here. We're getting 100%. There you go. It's just like a cover my ass thing right there. Okay. Wow, I'm liking this. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so what else can we do here? Well, I think as far as blending goes, we've blended a beach line with some waves into a wet road, some water, it's raining, cities in the background, depth of field look. This area right here has a depth of field look, which is a really nice look touch for this. I like that. Let me go excuse me. Let me go paintbrush. Hardness. Make sure we're all good and tight in here. Alright. Okay, now let's go back over here to hand tool. Move tool, hand tool, whatever. Alright, now if there's anything that you want to do here, I think we're working with this. We're working with the beach now. We're working with the beach now. Let me see. There you go. Alright. So let's bring up the beach. And I'm gonna get rid of some of this blue right here. Give it an HSL. Choose blue. There you go. Get rid of some of that blue right here. Good. We're working with this image now right here. That's why pixel. You want to always make sure that you are on this image here. Remember, this image is your bottom. So not worry about what's going on with the sky or anything, because you're not looking at it, you don't see it. Right? So let me actually it's looking pretty good, you know. Let me see if I could tone down. Yeah, you know, see what happened? Go to back to brightness. I didn't realize that. There you go. See, I kind of, okay. I know what to do here. So I brought the waves back out. I didn't realize that by kicking up the brightness for my sand. So no worries, we'll take care of that now. So let's do this. And because I watched James Ritson, I know what to do. You get your selection brush tool, bring down the brush a bit, and you snap it in, and look at that. Let's make sure that we got everything except, we'll go subtract over here, and we're pretty much on edge right here, and we're pretty much right here. Let's get that, and we're pretty good. So what I did was I used the selection brush tool to, there you go. Now here's what I did. Use the selection brush tool to select this bottom image right here, right? And it's pretty much good all the way across. Pretty much good all the way across. There you go. So let's back away from it, and let's try to keep the waves, the details in the waves, while we work with this color right here. So let's do this. Let's go curves. And let's bring that color up. I don't want to go too much. because I want to keep clarity on these rocks right here, but I want to change the tone of the sand. So let's reset and see what we're doing. Starting to bring up the sand, the tone right here, and let me see what happens with this blue right here. Let me give it a... See, also when you're doing a composition, you normally want to make sure that I can make this red to match this. Let's see what happens if I do this. See how it looks. Let's go to your red, and we'll do like this. See how it's starting to actually blend in. But I don't like the idea of red sand. We're not on Mars. Hello. Okay. Well, anyway, let's just, for the sake of argument, we are on Mars, and we're blending a red shoreline in a somewhat reddish tintish background, hazy sky illuminated by this pink lights on this building here. So I guess this would work. This would work right here, and it's actually appealing to me. The more I see it, the more it appeals to me. So let's go to Mars. I think we're on Mars now. Yeah. All right. So here's what we got. Let's work with our red slider over here, and let's do that. But that kind of kills. I think we'll go with that. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. All right. Let's kill this. Let's go to hand. Move. And I think I like this. I think I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Let's add clarity to this image. One more. Let's give it one more shot of, actually not clarity, sharpness. Oh, yeah. Mars is looking good now. Let's do that. Right? And what else can we do to this image? I don't want to go into this image right here, but if we did, let's kill this right here. Right? Yep, there you go. That's what we got right now. See? Oh, baby just woke up. Before she starts yakking away, let me cut this short. Oh boy, am I in trouble? Yes, yes, yes. Alright, so I was going to crop this image. Let's do a crop. And let's do... Nope, let's just do a crop right here. Get rid of some of this Martian sand. Right here, let's apply that. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Let's come back up here. I don't want to do any more clarity on this. I did this before. I was going to do more clarity, but I'm not. So I think this is why my camera is also ghosted, because my baby's in the background, and I'm not going to put her on YouTube. So anyway, she's calling out to me, people. I'm going to have to cut this short. But basically, we're done. Let's see what we did. Shoreline, breaking waves, depth of field look right here. Shoreline continues. Yeah, baby. Yeah, doesn't it look nice? Doesn't it look good? The waves are breaking here out of what street? The shoreline. Okay, you like this? Doesn't it look nice? Alright, so let's take a look at this. What can we do here? We're pretty much done. We did the composition. It's nice. I was gonna do a third. I was gonna add a third to it, but baby wake up. So what we do now here is, let's just say we're done. We're done. Let me trim this out right here. A little bit of trimming right here. Let's do that. So I like the image. Okay. So we did that. So let's do this. When you're ready, just flatten the document. And your document is flattened. Now if you want to get back to all your layers after you flatten the document, you go down here to your history and you can do this. And that's what we did. And let's go forward. This looks pretty good. And we're going forward. And this is all the history, everything that we did. You have it back here. So if at any given time after you flatten the document you feel that you want to go back to and correct something, wherever it is that you go to, you start from there, you lose everything else. But the sand looks good on Mars. Shoreline breaking out of the wet road looks good. Trees, hedges, everything's looking nice. And that's how we do a composition. And this is pretty nice. And I'm going to call this Comp 3 because this is the third composition that I've done with this image. And I think this is the better looking one because we went to Mars and now we're on red sand. And if ever I buy property on Mars, I'll make sure it's by the shoreline. And we'll just have to find it, but I can buy it. I think I will. You know. Anyway, that's our composition right there. It looks pretty good. It's a nice image. So let's come over here and do File, Export. Export. It's a 2383. I leave this bilinear JPEG, best quality. Export it to, well, let's export it and call it Comp 3. Desktop. Save it. So it's on my desktop. So where is it? Here it is right there. Now this is the one that I did last night. As you can see, it's a bit different. So let's take this one and make it, and look at that. Now you have a nice desktop. There it is. Look at that. Real nice composition. Real nice. Okay, thank you for watching, man. Always James Ritson. He's the one who's teaching me how to do all this. He's the go-to person for Affinity Photo. Yes, baby, I'll be right there. He's the go-to person for Affinity Photo, and everything that I know, mostly everything, is from James Ritson. So you don't have to learn from me. You can watch my videos, but if you really want to learn from the best, James Ritson. I'm putting out a word for him because, guys, I don't know him, but he's pretty cool and he teaches a lot. And I improvise a lot in all the images that I do. So this came out pretty good. I like it. Alright? Thank you for watching. I'm going to sign off now. Turn off my composition. 1, 2, 3, I'm off.